Today we'll be talking about Access Small Cap Fund. This particular fund has generated appreciable returns in the past 3 to 5 years. So let's dig deep into this particular fund and see whether one should hold or buy fresh. When it comes to the return comparison, if you had invested 10,000 rupees since the inception of the fund in 2013, it would have transformed into 76,800, whereas the category average is 78,200. So this particular investment has underperformed the category average. And this is precisely the reason why I always say that don't just look into short-term time frames, that is 1, 3, 5 years. Look into 7, 10 years. You'll see that over the course of 10 years, this fund has underperformed the category average, right? Now, there have been multiple full managerial change as well as partial changes. We'll talk about this in the later section. When it comes to the investment details, see the exit load minimum SIP amount is 100. That's really good for someone who wants to invest on the lower side. So the exit load will be 1%, right? If the units you hold are in excess of 10% of your investments, and the exit load of 1% will be charged if you redeem the amount uh, within a year of your investment, right? Now, the one thing that attracted my eye was the turnover. Being a small cap fund, if the turnover is only 2%, it means that the fund manager has huge trust in his stock pickings, right? Uh, the expense ratio is a tad bit, you can say, expensive, right? When it comes to asset allocation, it is nearly 90% into equities, and the rest it's holding in the form of cash. If we talk about the factor profiling, if you see the style of investment, definitely it will be growth oriented, right? It's a bit on the higher scale, as if you compare it with the category average. When it comes to yield, it is somewhere down the line, it has underperformed the if its own 5 year historical range. That means if you calculate the yield lately, that means 1 or 2 years, it has stood somewhere down the line, right? When it comes to momentum, it's high on momentum, even from the category average standpoint as well as the 5 year historical time scale. When it comes to quality, it's at par with the category average. When it comes to volatility, it's higher than the category average. This you should take note of. When it comes to liquidity, it's on the if you compare it with the category average, it's at par with the category average. But if you compare this with the 5 year historical scale, it's on the higher side, right? Same goes with the size, right? The fund size. When it comes to risk analysis, as we saw in the factor profiling segment, the beta is less as compared to the category average, right? Which can be seen with the Sharpe ratio. It's more than the category as well as the index. It's 2.06, whereas the category is 1.80 and index is 1.54. Whereas if you consider the mean return, it is less than the category as well as the index. Coming to the alpha, it has generated not much, but nearly 2% alpha if you compare them with the category average, right? Uh, when it comes to exposure, most of its investments are into the top five sectors, that is industrials, basic materials, financial services, consumer cyclical, and healthcare. When it comes to healthcare, relative to the category, it has a higher allocation. If you compare the industrials, it has a lower allocation if you compare them with the category average. Coming to financial services, its allocation is higher than the category average. Consumer cyclical lower than the category average, and when it comes to basic materials, it is more than the category allocation. Right? The top 10 holdings, as you can see on your screen: Narayana Hrudayalaya, Cholamandalam Financial Holdings, Birlasoft Limited, Krishna, KIMS, actually Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences, CCL Products, and so on. Right? When it comes to see the most favorite part, the part that I like the most is the market volatility measures. When it comes to the upside capture ratio, it has underperformed its category, its own category. That means you will not be able to capture the upside potential when your fund is in a bull market. When it comes to downside, it has also underperformed, right? So when it comes to the category, the downside is also poor, correct? So a total of 96 stocks are there in this particular fund. The top three sectors occupy nearly 36% of the total allocation, and the top five stocks occupy nearly 17.5%, and that's a healthy number. The fund managers are Shreyas Devalkar. See, if you definitely, I'll just name those fund managers: Shreyas Devalkar, Vinayak Jainath, and Mayank Tanki. And if you see the time period, all of them joined this year only, 2023. So this portfolio revamp is kind of a concerning thing when you put a particular rating on this particular fund. Now, when it comes to MoneyQuest analysis, the leading factor that played a role in our rating is the parent firm, that is Access Mutual Fund. The parent firm's 5 year success ratio. It's a healthy number of 75%, right? This particular fund owns more growth stocks if you compare them with the peers. Peers means the other funds in this particular category. This particular fund has consistently on a consistent basis favored low quality stocks. That's a point of great concern. Uh, the entire management team, the fund managers, their associates, and everyone, they have changed within the past 3 years, right? So that's also a point of concern. We all know, those who are aware of financial happenings in the country, you all know that this particular fund closed an internal investigation that they initiated in February 2022 because of some irregularities conducted by two of their employees that were involved in fund management, right, and the chief dealing of the securities. The company, SEBI also intervened, right, and the company terminated their employment in May 2022 because, according to the internal investigation, they did not comply with the requirements of the fund, the requirements of SEBI, as well as the requirements of the ethics committee. A small disclaimer: whatever information I have shared is for informational purpose only, and it should not be constructed or construed as an investment advice. Please consult your qualified financial advisor before you make any investment decisions. When it comes to MoneyQuest rating, the rating will be a rising star because of its recent performance. But I'll always say that there are better alternatives available when you if you invest, or if you are willing to invest in the small cap category. This particular fund has to show performance in bear market, sideways market, as well as the bull market. If one has to improve its rating, right? So there are better alternatives available. That's the message for this particular fund. That's it for today. Thank you so much.